I want to bring in now former U.S. Ambassador to Ukraine, Bill Taylor, who served in both the Obama and first Trump administrations. He also recently returned from the region. Ambassador, since that big surprise attack, Putin's been silent. Even the U.S. has been pretty quiet on this. What do you make of it?
So this is a big setback for the Russians. The Russians have been quiet, although the bluster from Medvedev is pretty standard. But it is surprising that the Americans haven't expressed their appreciation and support for this big attack. This is a major accomplishment for the Ukrainians and demonstrates not only military capabilities, but also political determination to stay in this fight and prevail.
We all remember that Oval Office encounter, President Trump telling Ukraine's Zelensky, you don't have the cards. Let's remind everyone.
You're not in a good position. You don't have the cards right now. With us, you start having cards. Right now, you don't. You're playing cards. You're playing cards. You're gambling with the lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III. You're gambling with World War III.
Ambassador, does this special Operation Spiderweb suggest Ukraine does have the cards here?
They absolutely have the cards. They've demonstrated it just this morning. And as you've probably reported as well, they struck this Kerch Bridge, the bridge that Putin described and initiated, finally connecting Russia to Crimea, that they have been occupied. So, yeah, they've got cards and they're playing them.
Is there a scenario, though, where this attack backfires when it comes to ceasefire efforts? Can you imagine Putin backing down?
I can imagine Putin backing down, in particular, if President Trump decides that he is going to put economic sanctions on the Russians, which he's threatened to do. And as you know, Senator Graham has 81 co-sponsors on a bill to put incredible sanctions on any nation that buys Russian oil. The Russian oil revenues are what's keeping this war going, keeping the Russians in this fight. And so the combination of sanctions as well as additional military support for Ukraine can bring Putin to the table.
I mean, coming out of the Russia-Ukraine talks yesterday in Istanbul, as Keir showed us, Russia's memorandum for peace reads much more like a list of demands for Ukraine's surrender, including making Russian an official language, ceding multiple Ukrainian regions to Russia. You say it's about the Trump actions getting harder on Putin that could result in more progress at the negotiating table. So what do you make of the Trump argument or suggestion that he doesn't want to do anything that would sort of kerfuffle these negotiations?
So the way to bring Putin to the table, the way to get these negotiations to work is to put the pressure on Putin. That's what has to happen in order to make this work. This is the top foreign policy priority for this administration. Started, of course, when President Trump was candidate Trump and said he would resolve this war within 24 hours. But this is, to their credit, they spent a lot of time on this issue. And so they're going to need to push to make this thing work, and make the negotiations work, and to push, they need to put economic sanctions on, and they need to provide weapons to the Ukrainians.
Do you see a time in the near future where Putin and Zelensky sit down face to face?
It's hard to see that. There is no indication that there is an agreement between the two. I mean, you've described what the Russians are demanding, which is just total nonsense. It's nonsense. It's a non-starter. It makes no sense for the Ukrainians to surrender. We see the Ukrainians on the front foot. The Ukrainians have the initiative with the attack on the Kerch Bridge, with the attack on all these air bases. The Ukrainians are feeling good about where they are, and so they're not ready to, they're never going to surrender as the Russians have demanded. So yes, I think that this is going to be a longer-term issue until Putin knows that he's going to lose, and he comes to the table after the economic pressure.
Ambassador Bill Taylor, appreciate your time. Thanks as always.